The story starts very interesting actually because I was into Latin dances and doing salsa, merengue, rumba, cha-cha, and learning all those dances, different styles of Latin dances. Because of that, you have to go out and dance a lot and practice your dancing and listening more and more Latin music. I was into listening Latin music, Latin jazz, in my life, but it became more tense listening it over and over because of dancing. And that instrument, particularly the congas, was always capturing me. It was something I can't resist. It's a strong attraction. Always, I said, gosh, I wish I could learn that instrument, how to play it. It sounds so cool. It's not the way it looks cool or the sound. It is so, it has some human element in it. It's like a heartbeat, and I was really fascinated by that sound. And I met the right person in the right time in Istanbul, Ayhan Sicimoğlu. We told him, "Hey man, why don't you start giving lessons to us?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. Like, let's make a workshop and see if it's gonna work out." And I showed up to the workshop, and I didn't know any idea about how to play this instrument at all. I haven't touched before in my entire life. And it was a great experience. And the first time I said, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I want to keep going. And since then, I kept going to workshops with Ayhan Sicimoğlu in Istanbul, and kept studying and practicing as much as I found some time. And we had some live concerts in Istanbul. We called Las Estrellas with Ayhan Sicimoğlu, and it was a great experience. And I'm glad I started that journey in learning the claves, which he was telling me all the time. The clave is the key. First, you have to learn the clave, and then you can understand what is Latin music, and then you can go to play your congas. So my journey basically started in Istanbul, and coming here 5 years ago, I wasn't able to bring my instruments. So I left the congas, whatever I had back in Istanbul, only I came here with a suitcase and full of CDs. That's the only thing I brought it actually. I left everything, just my CDs and a couple of books. And the first year it was so hard not being able to play. I was really missing it. And the first thing I did, because I didn't have money to buy a new pair of congas, it was extremely expensive. So all I did was having the claves, the wood sticks, which was very easy to carry, and it was cheap enough for me I can afford to buy. And which the first year of my arrival, it was funny that I didn't have a car either. So all I had the claves, and I was walking everywhere and just playing the claves for practicing. I mean, I guess I looked like a weirdo in Dallas, seeing that a woman walking on the street playing the wood sticks. But I'm glad I had that part, because I guess it was in me all the time. So it gave me a purpose to keep going, to move on with that rhythm actually. So. And then here I started to find places that I can go hear music and engage with other musicians. And I found some jazz clubs, as El Balcony Club or De La Paria, the Mexican restaurant. They had Latin jazz, and I was there like a student almost every weekend or every night. If I can just go keep listening and hanging out with the guys if I can learn something. Music is also our creative part, our expression of our feelings and who we are, and that's a part of that I found myself that it feels comfortable being in, and it feels like that's me. And the studying part is more rational thinking. Our thinking part works a lot rather than creative. So it is a very dominant and very male part of us. So it is kind of combining both male and feminine part of us. I mean, related to Jungian studies. So it is kind of finding my balance. people ask you where you're from, where did you born? To me, I guess spiritually, I born in Dallas. I would consider it's kind of finding myself, really who I am. What is my identity, how I want to represent myself, what is my occupation. Even the school, the graduate studies in arts and technology, it is reinventing myself in a way that I haven't tried it before. It's totally against what I had done before, even coming from business background and studying MIS here, my bachelor's degree and my physics studies. It's totally on the other side of that coin. I haven't thought that I would stay here longer, but once I started my investigating myself, who really I am, I really started digging deeper and deeper internally. It's internal work. Took a lot of time, and still I'm working on it, at really finding the true self rather than living someone else's life, which I realized, I guess it might be called the midlife crisis that happened to many of us, that oh gosh, how did that came here? Whose life was this? Who was those people around me that I don't know even? So I became like I'm alienated to myself as well. So it was a whole starting a new journey, a new program, arts and technology. I'm still questioning that either. Learning different skills, and with the hope of I will use somewhere the tools that I'm learning, and in a way how can I integrate with music, because in a way it has a great dimension as well. I can add to music. Music also not only be performed, it has to be listened as well in order to be music. So the way of being listened has different formats in today world now, which is extremely relied on interactive media. So in a way, how can I capture the sound? How can I capture the image, which could translate to the audience that will be either watching it over the internet or listening over the internet? It came to that point. So I thought, gosh, I mean, that could be a great tool also. As a musician, how can I learn it and integrate to my profession? And it might be a way making my living out of it. Maybe it might be a way of teaching some other people. And so, and learning it with my hobbies in my personal life, like playing music and being into psychology, to Jungian studies, which I have been involving with the dream work, for example, and with the graduate program now, I found an outlet for myself to making a dream show, my own show, talking about how to understand the dreams. And I guess that's a great tool that hasn't been done before, which I researched for it. And so it's good. It doesn't mean that I'm coming from that background totally. It's not my profession. It's my hobby, and I invested time on it. And how can I use it and give it to someone else? Someone else also can benefit from this. So I think this program, it's beneficial in many ways. Still, I haven't started the enjoying process, because I'm on the learning curve still, with learning technical skills, which is a little bit overwhelming for me. But I guess once I pass that point, it will be more fruitful for me, I guess, for the future. I hope. That's my hope.